Hey there, Get It Done Gals here with your Real Talk with the Get It Done Gals. I am Lindsay Miranda.
Nicole Lombardo.
And we're pumped to be here with you today to talk about the number one problem that is facing entrepreneurs. And here it is. Are you ready for it? This is the entire reason why we started our company, is that entrepreneurs are not getting it done. And what the heck does that mean? Right? Well, what it means is that so many entrepreneurs are struggling with getting it done and taking action. And the reason why this problem exists is because there's so many messages coming at people every single day. We are in a stage of information overload, which is awesome because everything is at our fingertips, right? But as a result, we find that so many entrepreneurs are spreading themselves thin. They're trying to do everything. They're trying to be everything to everyone, right? And so then when they're in that shiny object syndrome where they're on to Snapchat the next day, even though they swore they were going to do Instagram, or they created this new program, but someone told them that they should do this other new program. So now they're on to the next thing. As a result, so many entrepreneurs are not finishing what they've started. They're finding themselves spread thin. They don't know which direction to go in a business. They're feeling like they're on a hamster wheel and not sure why everything that they're supposed to be doing is not working, right? And the reality is because they're not taking action with a strategy in mind. And that is what is key. That is why we are all about supporting entrepreneurs and cutting their to-do list in half. Because the natural inclination when things aren't working, when you're on that hamster wheel, and when you're feeling like you're very all over the place and spread thin, is to add more to your to-do list, right? So that's what most people think they should do next. They think, okay, the problem is I'm not taking action, but then I don't even think most people know that that's the problem. I think that the problem is that they're not taking action. Then they're spreading themselves thin, and when things aren't working, they're saying, well, I'm just going to add more on. I'm just going to add more to my to-do list. I'm just going to go on another social media network. I'm just going to write one more email.
Listen to one more webinar.
Yeah, read another blog post. And that's causing so many entrepreneurs to be in this hamster wheel and go round and round and round without having a result that they want, right? So first off, if any of this resonates with you, you're totally not alone. It is a common problem that faces the industry today because we do have so much information out there. But the action steps that you need to take are actually creating your to-do list with a strategy in mind. And I'm going to hand it over to Nicole to talk more about that.
You always want an end goal. You always want to know the direction you're going in. I mean, imagine getting in a car like we used to in the old days and not having a GPS and having no idea how to get to the other side of town.
Yeah.
And you would turn down here and that's a cul-de-sac, and you turn down here and that's a one-way street. Oops, get off that one. And you pretty soon you're an hour late and you still have no idea where you're going. And sometimes it feels like that in business. And then your to-do list gets longer, the hamster wheel keeps spinning, and you're not making the money you need to make to just simply pay your bills.
Yeah.
Forget about the freedom-based lifestyle. If you can't even pay your simple bills, then this overarching defeat starts to set in.
Yeah.
So let's get rid of that and talk about strategy. What is your strategy? It's most likely to make money, so let's work backwards from there.
Yeah, totally.
And then it's about looking at your to-do list and saying what's working in my business and what's not.
Yeah.
And the stuff that is not working, get rid of.
Yeah.
Get rid of for now. Put it on a future to-do list and look at it again in the future. The other thing that you can do is really sit down and figure out what your first step is, what your second step is, what your third step is, and consistently commit to those few things. Now for Lindsay and I, there's two of us in this business together, but we have very clear-cut strategy in mind. So we work on Facebook because that grows our community, it grows our email list, and it brings in clients. We work on Instagram because it builds our community and it brings in clients. We work on some Facebook Live, which is Facebook, but it's having that live interactive video. It has become very important to us and to our community. So we focus on those three things. And that's Lindsay's side of the three things. Now my side is really looking at the blogs and making sure we have email opt-ins and sales funnels and all of those things going. But we have very clear-cut, not programs, but
tasks that we're
each working on, and we don't intermingle. we stick in our lane and we just say, okay, cool, it would be so fun to go over here and you know, maybe start Snapchat or Periscope or, you know, whatever's the newest, hottest thing. But until what we're working on is consistent and actually working, we don't stray away.
Yep.
So right now, it's in my goal list to do Snapchat. But if I spend all my energy saying, okay, I'm going to create content for Snapchat all day, that takes me away from my game plan right now of getting our blogs updated and really honed in with SEO and with opt-ins and with everything that we need. So until that blog project is done, I'm not focusing on Snapchat.
Yeah, it's such a great point, because another great example is, you know, we wrote an email last year, actually around this time, where we said in the subject line, don't get on Periscope before you read this. And in the email we talked about, okay, are you actually consistently committing to what you're doing right now? If you aren't, then don't just jump to the next thing. And we actually got a lot of flack from a few people saying, I can't believe that you're telling people not to get on Periscope. But then actually one of the people that gave us the flack came back and was like, I totally understand what you're saying. I'm getting all these notifications on my phone from Periscope and it's really taking me away from business. So, you know, we actually did Periscope for a few months, and what I found on there is we weren't able to engage with as much as our community as I wanted. There was a lot of technical glitches, and it was getting a lot of spammy people. So when Facebook Live came out, we talked about it, and we said, you know what, instead of spreading ourselves thin and going on Periscope and Facebook Live and on everywhere else, let's just stick to what we've been growing from the very beginning, which is Facebook. So let's really nurture that community with Facebook Live, our private community, as well as our Facebook fan page. And that's what we've been up to. So you really want to think about, when you're looking at your to-do list, if things aren't going your way, if you're not bringing in paying clients, if you're feeling a little overworked and overwhelmed, it's not about adding more to your to-do list. It's actually about cutting your to-do list. That way you can actually get it done and take action. And what happens as a result of getting it done and taking action? Well, that's when you start to see, like, when you're consistently showing up and seeing the fruits of your labor. Because, you know, if you just try to be everywhere and do everything to everyone, you're going to be spread thin, exhausted, and frustrated. But if you get it done and have a strategy in mind, you're going to be only focusing on what's working. So you're going to take back your time, which means that you personally are going to be a better person. And you're going to be consistently showing up, which is going to result in more clients. I can't even tell you how many times, because we've consistently showed up to a networking event or online in certain spaces, that we've gotten clients from that, because they see us, again, walking the talk and doing what we're saying we're going to do. So really, when you're thinking about it, the solution to the problem of the fact that so many entrepreneurs aren't taking action in their business is looking at your to-do list, cutting off what's not working, and keeping the strategy in mind. If your goal is to bring, you know, paying one-on-one clients in the door, thinking about, okay, how much time should I devote to community events versus online events, and being in the right place. So don't just add more on your to-do list. Really look at what on my to-do list is actually going to work, move my business forward towards my end goal. Anything else to add?
No, I couldn't have said it better.
All right. Well, that is your latest edition of Real Talk with the Get It Done Gals. Make sure to post in our free, amazing, fabulous community of female entrepreneurs on Facebook called Get It Done Gals, and share how this is working for you, how it's supporting you, as well as any questions that you have, so we can make sure to answer them on this Real Talk. And we look forward to continuing to support you. Have a wonderful day.